Good afternoon and welcome to coverage of Brighton of Albion against Liverpool in the fourth round of the FA Cup. Russ Vernon with you for this one, and alongside me is Paul James, and this is one that I'm looking forward to this afternoon. It should be a good match, one that is going to be a very, very good one. Just before I do start, I'm just going to give you a little history fact. On this exact day, 29th of January 1984, Liverpool played Brighton in the FA Cup fourth round. Brighton beat Liverpool by 2-0. Brighton, they'll be looking to get into the fifth round of the FA Cup for the first time since 2020-2021 season, when they lost 1-0 to Leicester. Chelsea, Liverpool on the other hand, won it last year, didn't they? Beat Chelsea in the final. That's the last season. Last time they got to the fifth round of the FA Cup. Let's run you through the two sides today. Starting off with Brighton, which is Steele in goal, Lamptey, Webster, Dunk, and Estepinian. March, World Cup winning McAllister, Gross, Mitoma, Ferguson and Welbeck. For Liverpool, it's Alisson, Alexander-Arnold, Konate, Gomez, Robertson, Keita, Bajcetic, Thiago, Salah, Gakpo and Elliott. I'll run you through the two benches in just a moment or so's time as we get ready for this game, which is about to kick off. So what I'll do for the first time, just as we, in a minute when the game gets underway, we'll fetch in our co-commentator, who's going to be Paul James alongside me. And this is going to be a good one, as Liverpool will get who's off and underway. It's Naby Keita that will kick the game off for Liverpool. It looks as though it'll be Keita that will be the man that will kick the game off. And in a moment, as referee David Coote is just getting his watch ready. And we're now off and underway. Liverpool attacking the goal to our left in the first half. Brighton attacking the goal to our right. And he's out of play for an early throw to Brighton of Albion. So when you through their bench is Sanchez, Sarmiento, Akinso, Undav, Gilmore, Van Eyck, Velman, Moran and Inshelwood. As for Liverpool, their bench is Kelleher, Fabinho, Milner, Henderson, Oxlade-Chamberlain, Jones, Temiskas, Nunes and Joel Matip. The assistants to David Coote is Darren Cann and Simon Long. Simon Hooper, one for official Neil Swarbrick, is on VAR alongside Scott Ledger. And this is going to be a good game, Paul. With a minute in already. Brighton against Liverpool. Brighton beat them a few weeks ago in the Premier League at the Amex. Do you think this one could be a different game today, or do you reckon it could be another Brighton win?
Well, I think it's definitely going to be a different game. I think Liverpool are going to be much more wary of Brighton this time round. Also, there's been a change, of course, in the team since then. Brighton are now, of course, without Trossard with his move to Arsenal. It'll be a very interesting game today, and I think Liverpool are going to have to be looking at taking this seriously because obviously the league is beyond them right now. They're already out of the League Cup. The FA Cup might be the best shot at winning something this year.
Yes, Roberto De Zerbi's done a fantastic job since coming into Brighton of Albion, replacing Graham Potter. Jurgen Klopp, on the other hand, has struggled somewhat this season. One of their defeats this season has come against Leeds United, as is Tariq Lamptey coming down the right-hand side for Brighton, and a Good cross was cut out by Joe Gomez there, and Brighton will try an attack as they try and get an early goal in this game. 2 and a quarter minutes gone. It's Brighton nil, Liverpool nil. If you're just tuning into us, thank you very much. As is Lamptey tries to put the ball in by Jetic with the block. He's behind for the first corner. And Brighton have started this game really, really well, Paul.
Yeah, they have. They've started positively. They've got themselves an early corner. I don't think Brighton are afraid of Liverpool, and I think this is something I've always said. That if some of the lesser teams attack the bigger teams more, they might get more joy out of them.
Yes, and there's going to be a corner then to Brighton on this near side. And he's going to be taken by March, whipped in towards the underneath the crossbar. And Allison comes and claims that well. And then I'll throw the ball away. And it comes to Estepinian. But there's been a foul given in there. I'm not sure why the foul's being given, as we just see this. Allison come and claimed him. McAllister catched him on back of the head. I think that's probably the reason, but it was very, very soft. And now Naby Keita can come away for Liverpool. He's got Salah out wide of him. To the right, and he goes that way. In towards the gap post. Comes back to Salah. Back in, and it was cleared off the line. Liverpool cleared on the ball, went over the line. Nothing on the referee's watch to say that he went over. And that's fantastic defending from Brighton. And now they can break. Good end-to-end stuff so far. So here's Pascal Gross now. Come up towards over halfway. And his ball forward is cut out well by Navigator. No, Canate, should I say, who got back to cut that out well. And from one end to the other, it was almost a quick brief by Brighton. But that was a good chance for Liverpool there, Paul.
Yeah, Brighton a bit caught out in the midfield there, but you can see just off the line. My goodness me, it was close. But they were very quick breaking out with Liverpool. Without Brighton have to watch for that.
The doers is Elliott playing a 1-2 there with Thiago, and that's a good bit of play between the two players. And now it's with Canate across to Alexander Arnold. Out wide then to Mo Salah. Back to Alexander Arnold, the England man. It goes in to the path of Canate again. And then it goes back into the path now of Joe Gomez. Thiago comes in field towards Keita. It's cut out, and Liverpool will have to get back and do some defending. Estepinian will come up towards halfway, over halfway and attacking Alexander Arnold. He got the better of him a few weeks ago when, as I said, Brighton beat them at the Amex in the Premier League. Took 4 points off him in the Premier League as Roberto De Zerbi's side, which is some going. Not many teams can say they've took 4 points off Liverpool in previous seasons, but this season may be the one where people can say that. And Thiago trying to come away with it is a fantastic challenge. And now Brighton, with Estepinian, can come up towards halfway. He's out wide there to Matoma. Matoma attacking Alexander Arnold. Still going Matoma on towards Ferguson, who's done really well in recent Premier League matches when he's come off from the bench. Awarded a start today. Now he's out wide with Mo Salah down the right hand side for Liverpool. In towards the penalty area, and there's Webster to clear. Now Dunk just ties us up, and now McAllister, the World Cup winner, just shows that World Cup presence and prowess to just get the ball away to Estepinian, who can only give the ball back to Liverpool, and they will try and come again. Here's Alexander Arnold. Just playing the ball forward, looking for Mo Salah in behind. Salah's got there now, and he's put behind off Estepinian for a Liverpool corner, and that's a good bit of play again from Liverpool. Their first corner of the game, unless their first corner is better than Brighton's first corner.
Yeah, they're looking good at going forward. Though Liverpool, they're looking fairly dangerous. I think Brighton just have to be a little bit careful. They seem to be being a little bit outmanned in midfield right now.
Yes, and it was a ball in behind, and Salah did well to keep the ball in as it looked as if it was going to go behind and force that corner, which Alexander Arnold will take with his right foot from their right hand side as they attack the goal away to our left. Ball is whipped in, he comes towards the edge of the box. Matoma can't get the ball away. Keita puts the ball back in. It's back in by Bacecic to Salah. Bacecic blocks the clearance, and he comes now to Elliott, who strikes a goal. Less a comfortable save from Jason Steele, and who just falls on it and claims it well.
Yeah, it's again shot a good shot there, good effort, but I mean I think in the end it's a comfortable save by Jason Steele.
Yes, as Liverpool will just try and get their foothold in this game, as Brighton have started the better of the two. I would, in my opinion, I'd have to say, as that ball is played down line by Lamptey, looking for the run of Solly March. Solly March, should I say, is cleared out for a throw by Joe Gomez. Good covering by the Liverpool defender. Here's Lamptey to take the throw, and then Gross is looking for a bit of movement and space as he's being closely watched by Thiago. As we just see a shot of Jurgen Klopp. And here's Webster now. Good play from Webster to find Dunk. And the Brighton skipper will fetch it up towards halfway. Good bit of movement into Webster. And now Lamptey. What can Terry Lamptey do here? He can get fouled by Harvey Elliott and win his side a free kick. And that's good play by the Brighton right back, linked with a move away to Sporting and Leon. But a deal is now off for Tarek Lamptey. Brighton only want a permanent switch if they are to sell Tarek Lamptey. The two clubs, Sporting and Leon, only want him on loan. As Matoma tries to get away down the left hand side. He does well against Alexander Arnold, puts the ball in towards Ferguson. It's just cleared away there by Canate. Comes out to McAllister. Does well, McAllister. Gross. Does well to Dunk. Now Webster just inside the centre circle, inside the Liverpool half. Across to Dunk, who just inside his own half, as there's a shot of Matoma, who's started this game well and he's started well live in the Premier League as well. He did had a fantastic World Cup for Japan. Di Matoma.
Yes, he's a quality player, isn't he? And you know what? He does the little things right too. Stuff that sometimes just doesn't get noticed.
Yes, and what can it'd be interesting to see if Brighton can keep hold of him because he's been impressive in the Premier League for Brighton as well. But he's ball down the line to from Liverpool towards Alexander Arnold is cut out by March. And now Brighton will just try and come away. There's a foul on Pascal Gross by Thiago. And that's a bad challenge by the Liverpool man who could is lucky there for me, Paul, not to get in the referee's noble for a foul, for a yellow card there for that bad challenge.
Yeah, it's true as well. Some of the challenges early on, when they look like that, they look bad. And sometimes I think, yes, worthy of a yellow card. And some referees will give it, but others won't. And that's sometimes where there's a lack of consistency. But that is a pretty poor challenge.
It is very, very poor challenge by the Liverpool man on Pascal Gross. Just want to give a big shout out to one of our colleagues, JB, who should have been on this game today, but due to other things happening, he was unable to do this. I've stepped up from the role as I was going to do as a presenter to be on commentary alongside Paul today. So hopefully everything's is okay, JB, and hopefully you're back on the channel very, very soon, my friend. Because this would have been his first game back after the World Cup, but things have popped up at the end, so he couldn't do it as Matoma tries to get behind. But fantastic bit of play by Canate to get the ball away for Liverpool to help him out defensively there. Now Thiago just nips in to Bajetic and he tries to pick out Salah, but that's poor. I thought Gakpo could have gone on end of that, boys couldn't pick it up, and now Ferguson controls well, but then he has to stretch to try and keep hold of the ball as Liverpool now about with Andy Robertson, and the ball over the top. Matoma's trying to get him behind every time, Paul, and that looks to seem to be a bit of a problem for Liverpool's defence so far. The ball over the top looking for Matoma.
Yeah, they've marshalled him quite well, but I have to say they have to be very, very careful because Matoma is very, very quick, and one lack of concentration could cost them.
Yes, it is Elliott into March. as Brighton just win the ball back is McAllister, the World Cup winner out wide to their aforementioned Mitoma. He's got Estepinian on the overlap, who tries to get the ball in towards Danny Welbeck, who pointed where he wanted it, but the pass was over by the Brighton left back, and Davis Estepinian couldn't pick him out, as Liverpool now have possession back. Here's Alexander Arnold playing the ball into Mo Salah, and here is Canate. Here's Thiago, and now Joe Gomez across to Andy Robertson, and back he goes to Gomez, and now Canate again, just knocking the ball around well. Here's Liverpool just passing the ball around in the back, and we just see another shot of Deserbi shouting instructions out to his teammate, to his players there, as he tries to attempt to close down every opportunity that Liverpool have to try and pass out of the back, and that's what Welbeck is now doing. So they're starting to listen to him, his players, and Mitoma's just running bad there as a result of that. And McAllister just being pulled bad there, but the referee said nothing into that, as now Andy Robertson just collects the ball for Liverpool. Good ball into Bajcetic, who's looked good in recent weeks for Liverpool when he's played in the Premier League as well as FA Cup.
Yeah, I believe he's just signed a contract extension as well.
Yes, a long-term contract extension last week did Bajcetic, and that's a award for his fantastic start to the season. Came up through the Liverpool youth ranks as well, and now established himself in the midfield, or, or on the bench in Premier League matches, as well as playing in this FA Cup tie today. Jordan Henderson, one of them who probably would have starts in the league, is starting in place of him. He's starting in place of him today. Henderson amongst the substitutes, and it'd be interesting to see if anyone comes in for Bajcetic for either a loan or a permanent switch, possibly a loan after him signing that contract extension. If he's not going to get many minutes, say if Liverpool go out of the cup competition, this cup today with the Premier League, and they'll probably need their better players if they are to try and get up the table and into Europe next season. As is now March for Brighton down the right hand side into the penalty area he goes. Still going ball across. He comes to the back post, and the shot from Ferguson is cleared off the line by Alexander Arnold, and that should have been 1-0 to Brighton. And then Gakpo is fouled by Webster, and that should really be 1-0 to Brighton there, Paul.
Absolutely, yeah. I think both sides now have had chances with opportunities cleared off the line. To be honest with you, it's what I've seen from both sides so far. It has been a little bit scrappy, especially in the midfield. But you can see the break by Brighton there was so good. Just cuts across the penalty area, and he gets a shot. And Alexander Arnold on the line there. That a bit of a game-saving challenge there. But really, really good run by Brighton's number 7, Solly Marsh.
Yes, and March is there again, and he just fires a shot just over the bar, and that's another good chance for Brighton. March landing one up from distance, and he just goes over the bar, as we just see from this angle. Gross played him in. Gross was then took out. Advantage was played, and a shot just dove into the crowd, in which was Liverpool's crowd, is by Jecic with the challenge on Pascal Gross, which the referee played advantage of. And now I think the player's been stopped. I'm not sure if Gross is down injured. By Jecic has received a yellow card for that challenge on Pascal Gross, and that's a bad challenge there, Paul. Did you think that was worthy of a yellow? 'Cause for me, it could have gone either way. It could have been booked, or it could have gone, or he couldn't
Um,
have done. It's a difficult one for me. I think it could have gone either way.
could have been, but it was a very, very late challenge, Ross. I mean, he basically, the ball had long gone when he made that challenge, and I think a yellow card by David Coote is definitely appropriate there.
Yes, as Liverpool will try and grow themselves into this game. They've had a chance cleared off the line early on. Well, that's all they've done going forward so far. Brighton have marshalled them really, really well. No pun intended for Solly March in there. But Steele's not really been troubled yet. Alisson's not really been troubled yet either for Liverpool. So, but Brighton have had probably the better of the possession and better of the chances, I would say, without really troubling the Liverpool defences. Ferguson wins. Does he know? He thought he had one inside a free kick, but no, he's throwing to Liverpool. And then Ferguson went down cheaply there. Some of the Brighton fans aren't happy. And we'll just see this again. There's a nudge in the back. And Paul, we're going about consistency with the referees. In the Leeds game yesterday, there was a challenge similar to that there, which the referee gave for against Leeds, and then David Cortez just said that one go away on the challenge on Ferguson as Katie goes down under the challenge of McAllister. In fact, it was Katie went over top of McAllister as McAllister just stood there, and David Kuski that was a free kick, and I'm surprised why he's given that as a free kick. I thought McAllister didn't look like he did anything wrong there, Paul.
Yeah, no, I know, and I think this is part of the problem with having something like VAR. Um, the rules are very, very malleable in football, and they can be interpreted in a number of different ways. And the problem is when you've got that kind of situation. I mean, looking at that, you can see that Naby Keita goes flying over the top of McAllister. I'm not sure exactly what McAllister did wrong there. So but it's interpretation, isn't it? The referee might have looked at that as McAllister manoeuvring his body to take out Keita. Didn't look like it to me, but that might be the way the referee has interpreted it.
Yes, this is interesting to see that. If you're listening, let us know what you think of that. If it is, if you agree with Paul, if that's how you think the referee interpreted it, or if not, let us know how you think the referee interpreted it as well. If you're listening on the Twitch feed, thank you very much for doing so. If you're listening on JB Sports, commentary up to Storm FM, the main commentary up, or Turton Talks Football, thank you very much as well. We're bringing you the game between Brighton of Albion and Liverpool in the FA Cup fourth round. If you're just tuning in, let me just remind you, on this exact date, 29th of January, but back in 1984, Brighton beat Liverpool 2-0 in the FA Cup fourth round. Could history repeat itself today? We've already seen it early on in the season in the Premier League, Brighton beat Liverpool here and got a draw at Anfield. Can they beat Liverpool again here today, but this time in the FA Cup, and another one of the big boys go? So Arsenal go out to the weekend, well, Friday night, in our Friday night match. Now we brought you with Trevor and Paul, which both did fantastic commentary, by the way, on that game. It was a fantastic coverage and fantastic coverage presented by Nicholas with myself and Mike providing the punditry. Liverpool will try and come away with possession, but Welbeck has done well to get the ball back for Brighton. Back to Lamptey. And now back to Webster to Dunk. And now across then to Estepinian. Down the line to Mitoma. Good play from Mitoma. Running towards the edge of the box. Ferguson back heel into Mitoma. Still going Mitoma. Mitoma shoots. Saved by Alisson. And that's the first real effort which has forced either goalkeeper into making the save there, Paul.
Yeah, again, no, this is Mitoma down that left-hand side. And my goodness me, he has been very, very impressive early on. But smart save by Alisson. It was a good piece of goalkeeping. He's been pretty cold so far. Good save.
Yes, he's not really been forced into action much so far as Alisson, but when he has just there, put off a fantastic save. Steele's not really been forced into action yet, so let's see what he's like when he gets forced into first real burst of action. As Estepinian just wins the ball back for Brighton, so he will not be on that attack. No foul in there as Evan Ferguson tried to come away with the ball, as Canate just won the ball back fairly according to the referees in towards Andy Robertson in the back post. Well, that goes behind for a goal kick. We've almost played half an hour of the first half, 22 minutes almost gone, Paul. And what's been your impressions in the game so far between Brighton and Liverpool in the FA Cup fourth round?
Well, I think it's been very even so far. Like, I think both sides have had spells of possession. Both sides have had chances. Both sides have had one cleared off the line. So I think it's fairly even so far. I think both sides have the opportunity to take advantage. Matoma especially, and Liverpool seem to be just slightly outnumbering Brighton in midfield.
Yes, and is also FA the Women's FA Cup fourth round weekend as well. Good luck to Leeds United women who are in action against Arsenal, kicking off at 2 o'clock. There's some scores to tell you about there, which I'll tell you after this attack from Brighton as Estepinian comes forward down the right and down their left hand side. Here's McAllister who goes back to Duncan. Now Gross to inside the centre circle, inside the Brighton half. Now Webster. Good ball out wide. Here's March, who does well to get away from Harvey Elliott and cuts inside. Tries to get Welbeck through and behind. Can Dan Welbeck get there? No, he can't. As Canate shepherded it out well, and it goes behind for a goal kick to Liverpool. Let's just tell you about some earlier scores in the Women's FA Cup. 2 minutes to go. It's Durham 2, Crystal Palace 0. It's Tottenham 5, London City Lionesses 0 in the 90th minute, coming up towards full time there. At half time is Chelsea 1, Liverpool 0 in the Women's FA Cup. Everton 0, Birmingham 0. Man City leading 3-0 against Sheffield United, and Sunderland are losing 1-0 to Manchester United. At 2 o'clock, there's a few games, including Arsenal against Leeds, Burnley against Cardiff, Coventry United against Hashtag, Ipswich against Lewes, West Brom against Brighton, Wolves against West Ham. And then there's a couple of 3, one of 6, 4, and one of 6, which is about later. Salah goes in and pulls a shot just wide, and that's a good bit of another chance for Liverpool that goes begging there, Paul.
Yeah, again, Brighton in the midfield caught out again, but a chance there for Salah, and well, he just pulls it wide.
Yes, I think if it had gone in, Paul, the foul would have been up for offside. As I just saw a replay, and Salah had just gone that fraction early behind the Brighton back line, and he just gone that fraction early there, and that would have been given as offside as Brighton were to know that. The linesman's flag didn't go up. We would have probably been interested if it didn't go up and it pull the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, looks like he's just strayed offside slightly with the pass there. Run not quite timed. Well, you might consider that one-on-one with Jason Steele. One would expect a forward of Mohamed Salah's ability to just do a little bit better there.
Yes, maybe he realised he was offside, and that's probably maybe he thought he was offside, and that's probably why he dragged him wide. But he should really play to the whistle, Mohamed Salah, which I don't think he really did with him dragging him wide like he did. As here comes Brighton with Webster to pick up the ball and come forward into Lewis Dunk. So he goes square instead of forward. He gets it back, and those two just playing each 1-2 between each other. And now he goes to Webster into Lamptey. Good play from Terry Lamptey coming forward. He's given away as Liverpool will try and get the ball forward. And then Harvey Elliott has just knocked the ball out of the hands of the Brighton boss, De Zerbi, who's not happy about that, as Simon Hill pressed to try and sort that out between De Zerbi and Jurgen Klopp. And as they almost come to blows, when De Zerbi was complaining about that. Brighton have gone with the throw-in now, and he's now with Estepinian over on that far side. Now finds it down the line to Mitoma, back to Estepinian, and it's cleared away. It's back to Mitoma, who just wins his side of throwing, and will leave it for Estepinian to take. Will Estepinian go towards Mitoma, or will he go down the line towards Ferguson? He goes for Ferguson, who holds up well. Feeds in Mitoma, back to Estepinian. Mitoma again. And he comes off Mitoma this time, and Liverpool win themselves a throw-in. As we just see this incident again, where he just knocks it out of the hand in front of the players. There's Darwin Núñez amongst some of the Liverpool players there, just laughing at that. Between what Elliott did there, Zerbi had the ball in his hands, as now here's Gakpo trying to play through to Salah. Can Salah get there as a second attempt as a sliding challenge from Lamptey almost presented it to him, but still read that situation well and covered it and saved it very, very well there, Paul.
Yeah, a bit of a petulant play by Harvey Elliott. There's no need to do that. And as for Jurgen Klopp, who's there waving his arms around, I don't know what's up with him. Is he okay?
I don't know, Paul. He's always been like that when a decision goes against his side. Jurgen Klopp have always, even when he was a Dortmund, he was like that as well. And I think he's just creating his demeanour that if things don't go in his way, he's just going to throw a strop and a paddy. Wouldn't be surprised if he complains about a game being on. I was looking at some of the fixtures coming up. They've got a game at 7:45 on a Saturday, then they're playing the Champions League on a Tuesday, which he'll probably complain about there as well,
Yeah.
knowing
Well,
Jurgen Klopp, because he moans about anything really these days.
Well, my understanding of this, and I've said it before, is if he wants to win the big competitions, then he has to play the games. He doesn't get awarded the trophy. He has to play the games and win the competition, and that means playing lots of different games, including FA Cup, League, and Champions League. So, I mean, it's basically the same in any country that he plays in, but his biggest complaint, I think, was against the Christmas period, which if you're playing in England, you play during the Christmas period. You don't in Germany, but you do in England. So if he's managing in England, he has to get used to that.
Yes, and Deserby weren't used to managing through the Christmas period, but another managers probably weren't, and they've no moan. It's just Klopp who likes to have a moan about things. As is come Brighton now. I wonder if he'll start moaning if Brighton score here. As Estepinian gets in behind, but his touch is heavy, and Gomez come across and put him off as well, and he goes behind for a goal kick. But that's another good chance for Brighton, which almost paid off there, Paul.
Yeah, just a final ball for Brighton. I really think that they really at this point should be looking to bring in Matoma more often. I think he's starting to look quite a threat down that left-hand side.
Yes, here's Gomez. No, Gomez cannot to clear away, but Dunk wins the ball back, trying to get it through towards Matoma. Salah's got the ball now for Liverpool. He's got Elliott in the middle. He goes to Harvey Elliott. Can he square for Gap? Oh, he can't. But he scores instead. And Liverpool take the lead. It's Harvey Elliott who has put Liverpool into the lead. And that goal has come against the run of play. Brighton being the better side so far in the game. But it's Liverpool who take the lead. It's Brighton 0, Liverpool 1. And on the half-hour mark, Paul James.
Well, this came again from Brighton, just not able to win the midfield battle. They were caught a little bit out on the break here. The slide rule pass through to Harvey Elliott. Looks like Jason Steele got a hand on it, but it wasn't enough. And that was a quick break by Liverpool. They've been threatening to do that a few times throughout this first half for us. And this time they got it to perfection. A beautiful slide rule pass to Elliott there, and his finish was exquisite. Jason Steele got a hand to it, but he just wasn't getting there really.
Yes, and in the build-up to that, Brighton are trying to say that there was an handball by Naby Keita in the build-up to that Liverpool goal there, but I'm not sure if he was. Let's just have a look here. Is he? I don't think he does. So from that replay, it doesn't look like he does. I'm not sure if the goal is stood. So VAR will have checked that and said it wasn't. But Brighton were stood like statues, complaining that there was handball in there and have been punished for it, Paul.
Yeah, I mean, I've just seen it again now. It could have done. It could have been considered a handball, but see, the hand was by the side, so it's not likely he's gonna get that overturned.
Yes, it's Robertson just wins the headers. Brighton will try and get back into this game in March. This now can go behind Joe Gomez. Solly Marsh does well. As Brighton just keep on the possession. Lamptey does well into Gross. Back to Terry Lamptey. Now back to Webster. Liverpool starting to get on the front foot a little bit and put Brighton under pressure. There's Estepinian. Out wide now to Matoma. Can Liverpool get touch tied to him? Because every time he's got the ball, Brighton have looked like doing something. Mitoma's still going into the penalty area, goes down under the challenge of Vicic. Nothing into that. In my opinion, as the ball's over the top looking for Gakpo. And the ball is broke to Webster, who will just come try and get the ball forward for Brighton. Can they get the ball forward? Ian, that's the play is still just inside the Brighton half. Dung just slowed it down a little bit there. I thought as the referee told him to stop as the VAR check was ongoing for potential penalty, but nothing has been said here on our monitors as we watch this game. Here's Welbeck to McAllister. Across now to Estepinian. Down the line to Matoma. He's the one that's causing a few problems for Liverpool defensively when Brighton come forward. Here's McAllister. He's sitting to Thiago and Liverpool can come away with Salah. Just behind Gakpo as Lamptey comes in and wins the ball brilliantly. On to Ferguson. Plays out wide now to March. Solly March on the over. He's got Lamptey on the overlap. He goes to Lamptey. Lamptey puts the ball in. Punch clear there by Alisson when he really should have been. I thought he could have been able to catch that. Gakpo just holds up the play well. No free kick as he goes down as he backed into Lewis Dung there. And now McAllister to Estepinian. He's got Matoma outside of him. Here's Matoma, the impressive Matoma so far. His ball in, he's headed away. He comes now to McAllister. Estepinian. Estepinian's ball is blocked as he tried to pull the ball in. It breaks for Matoma though. Over the head of Alexander Arnold. But the ball goes out of play. And it's a throw to Liverpool. But Matoma, Paul, every time he gets the ball, it looks like he's going to be able to create something for Brighton.
Yeah, he's a threat. They have to cut. They have to start getting the ball across to him. A lot of their chances in this first half have come through him, and I think if they can get him on the ball a little bit, I think he's got the beating of Alexander Arnold.
Yes, I'm just seeing the goal again, Paul, from Elliott. And if Steele to come out as when he did, he'd probably had a better chance of saving that because Elliott would have probably gone across goal to Gakpo, and there were people blocking the ball across to Gakpo. So I think that the goal for Liverpool could have gone down to a bit about to Jason Steele there as he came out to try and block the anglers. Here's Lamptey now for Brighton as the ball is blocked for a throw-in off Andy Robertson, who's the standing Liverpool captain today. What can Lamptey do with this throw-in? He's looking for options as we see a shot of Jurgen Klopp, and now March takes away from Elliott and Thiago. Then Gakpo just goes out. Here's Ferguson edge of the box. Ferguson's still going. He's inside the box now. Ferguson can't get a strike in, so it's cleared away to De Zerbi, and Brighton will have a throw-in. He tells Lamptey to go back to Webster, who's not under any pressure. Now he goes into Dunk inside the centre circle, over on the far side of the left, out wide to Matoma, who's got Estepinian on the overlap. Estepinian and Matoma play a 1-2 into McAllister now. Back to Lewis Dunk. Instead circling Gross. Back to Dunk. Across from one side of the centre circle to the other to Webster. And now here's Elliott. Good play from Harvey Elliott into Keita. And the ball through for Salah. Can't pick it up there. And now here comes Lewis Dunk. Now Webster. Does well here. McAllister does well. Always up the play. And still going. He goes down on the challenge. There Thiago of Matoma. And he's stayed down. And the referee is giving this as a free kick. And I want to see this again, Paul, because I'm not sure this was a free kick there for Liverpool.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think I'd like to just have another look at it and just see for sure, but I agree with you. I don't think it was.
Yes, it does look like we're going to get a replay of that one, Paul. So we'll have to just look at it on that first viewing there. If we do get a replay, we'll let you know about it.
He's certainly
As
rolling around a bit, isn't he?
Here's as the free kick is whipped into the penalty area. Comes to Naby Keita. And Thiago, and there's a crossfield pass by Joe Gomez. Found Salah in the end, and I don't think it was intended for Salah. Estepinian tries to get the ball back. And now Salah gives the ball away. Brighton will try and come away with the ball. Trying to pick out March, who's going across to the left hand side, and Banjecic come across well, restore the danger and cut it out. And now Navigator picks up on this left hand side for Liverpool. Here is Robertson across now to Canate. Canate into the path of Alexander Arnold. Back to Canate, back into Gomez. And the ball is played into Banjecic. Banjecic turns away well. Good ball forward, giving the ball away. Here is Mitoma now for Brighton, on to Estepinian. Back to Mitoma. Dunks there, showing support. Into the centre circle and Webster. Inside the Liverpool half as well, Brighton at the moment. All the Brighton players, apart from the goalkeeper, are inside the Liverpool half, as Stoke have just taken the lead against Stevenage. In the FA Cup, Mike Orneman will be there watching that one. That was a 2 o'clock kick-off. We'll keep you up to date with that one as the afternoon goes on. Be interesting to see how that game goes. This afternoon. We'll try and get you the confirmation of the goal scorer in a second as we just see a Brighton corner. March is going across there, but it'll be McAllister to take the corner. He takes it short. He'll put the ball in towards the penalty area now. Just over there to Ferguson. Comes out to Lamptey, strikes, and there's a goal! And Brighton have levelled! Brighton have Albion a level! Terry Lamptey with the shot. I think he deflects off Lewis Dunk. On Brighton. Oh, level just before the half time, 39 minutes gone. Brighton 1, Liverpool 1. And I think it's Lewis Dunk's goal. And Brighton are level in this game. And the MX is Brighton 1, Liverpool 1, Paul.
Oh well, that's what Brighton deserve, I think. It started with the initial cross into the area and then out to the edge of the box. What a strike by Lamptey! But I agree with you; it's probably going to be Lewis Dunk's goal. It took the deflection off Lewis Dunk. Now, whether or not Lewis Dunk intended to connect with that ball or not may depend whether the goal goes to Lamptey or whether it goes to Dunk. But it was an excellent strike, and of course, the deflection diverted it away from Alisson.
If you just look at this Paul again, as we just look from here, it was going towards the left, and I think Alisson would have, and I think he would have gone onto with the post, and I think we're hitting Dunk. He's changed the direction and put it in the back of the head as Liverpool try and get an immediate response to get back into the lead. 5 minutes to go before half time. It's gone down as a Lewis Dunk goal, and it's Brighton 1, Liverpool 1.
Yeah,
And
just looking at that angle, Ross.
Luke is very happy with that. Says
Yeah.
yes, get in the chat there.
But looking at that angle again, Ross, it looks like the shot is going wide from Lamptey. So I think the deflection there will go down as Dunk's goal.
Yes, it looked like we were going to hit the post to me, Paul, or as you say, go wide. So yes, Lewis Dunk will get the goal and be credited with that goal for Brighton and Hove Albion. They're now back on level terms against Liverpool. It's Brighton 1, Liverpool 1. Liverpool open the scoring through Harvey Elliott. But then Lewis Dunk has just pulled one back just a couple of minutes ago. And as we come up towards half time, Paul, who do you think will be the happier of the two managers going into the half time break?
Well, I think I think De Zerbi will probably be the happier of the two. I think for Jurgen Klopp, I think he's feeling the pressure right now. Certainly feeling it from the probably the Liverpool board, from certain parts of the Liverpool fans, which I think is crazy because I certainly don't think that Klopp's job should be in any way in jeopardy. But it's that's the way it is right now. And if Liverpool go out in the FA Cup, I don't think realistically they're going to make the top four right now. So where is the next option after that? Conference League, Europa League?
Who knows, Paul? Who knows, my friend? And just to let people know, the goal scorer for Stoke City was Jacob Brown, and he was set up by Ben Wilmot, who used to play for Stevenage back in 17-18. He's got the assist, Ben Wilmot, for Jacob Brown, again, who's put Stoke 1-0 up against Stevenage. Our friend and colleague Mike Ornman will be in that crowd at Stoke watching his side. There's Liverpool almost scoring with Elliott again. But fantastic defending from Brighton as the referee has stopped it for an head injury to Harvey Elliott. As we just look at this again, Paul, what did you make of this challenge, this incident here?
It's an accident, but I've seen this happen a few times now, where players have kind of taken these really rather unpleasant knocks to the head, and I think for the most part they are by accident.
Yes, as Liverpool have got an injury worry to Harvey Elliott. Lamptey came in and then I think it was caught by Steele at the end. There.
Yeah, just looking, it's a good opportunity for Harvey Elliott again. Luke Steele this time decides to stay at home and come late, and sorry, Jason Steele, and you see there, it's just a clash of heads with the defender. It's unfortunate, and I hope Harvey Elliott's okay, but it's quite by accident.
Yes, and you just see there as Steele's just trying to get up. He's just, I think it was his backside which caught Harvey Elliott on the head. And Lucas just said Klopp is still probably complaining about how many games they're having to play. And he went on to say a bit earlier, just before Brighton equalised, when this is a good game so far. Brighton just missing something extra in midfield, and that's something that you alluded to earlier on as well, isn't it, Paul?
Yeah, they're definitely being caught out in midfield a bit, and with Liverpool already, they already break quickly to Liverpool. They're a very fast team on the break, and they caught Brighton out, especially on that first goal. But going back to what Luke said about Jurgen Klopp, well, Luke, I mean, Klopp is going to have to get his team motivated, or he's going to have one more game to play in a replay.
Yes, as Brighton just win themselves a free kick on the edge of their box, and it's taken quickly by Webster. Now Estepinian finds Dunk, the goal scorer, who spreads it out wide to Tariq Lamptey. Good play this from the Brighton defence to just get the ball out wide, but then they've been forced back to Jason Steele as we enter stoppage time at the end of the first half. Just waiting to try and see how many minutes are going to be added on. Not seeing any confirmation on the board yet to how many minutes is going to be added on here as Lamptey comes forward down the right side. We now get confirmation that there's 2 added minutes. Ball heads down towards McAllister on the edge of the box, and Liverpool will break. It's Elliott to clear it downfield, long downfield, and it's headed back by Dunk. Steele and Brighton will try and get it into the lead just before half time as Pascal Gross gets the ball out to Estepinian. Estepinian will slow the ball down and slow the Brighton attack down there when he thought he could have gone down quickly to Matoma. Webster just taking his time as well. Then Brighton might just try and get to half time at 1-1 and then reassess and go forward from there. Which they don't really need to do. They've been probably the better side for me, Paul, in this first half, and Liverpool need to just really wake up as Elliott just picks up the ball and gets it back to Andy Roberts. And we'll get Paul's thoughts on the overall first half, and then we'll take a break at half time as we guide you through the action today in the game between Brighton of Albion and Liverpool. Brighton 1, Liverpool 1 is the scoreline as the ball spreads out wide towards Harvey Elliott. Is headed away by Lamptey and out of play for a Brighton throw-in. A Liverpool throw-in, should I say, as Robertson just throws it back to Gomez, Canate, Alexander Arnold, down the line to Thiago, And Thiago gets it back to Alisson. And there is the half-time whistle between Brighton and Liverpool, and it's 1-1 at the break. It's been a fantastic game so far. Liverpool opened the scoring through Harvey Elliott before Lewis Dunk's goal as he deflected Terry Lamptey's shot past Alisson into the back of the net to make it 1-1 at the break. And Luke has just responded, Paul, and said, and we all know how much Klopp loves replays. I think he said that with tongue in cheek there. But Paul, overall on the first half, you would have to say Brighton and Roberto De Zerbi is the better, would be the happier of the two managers of the break, wouldn't
I
you?
think so. Yeah, I think so. But at the same time, I think it's been. I think a draw so far is the right score. I think both teams have created chances. I don't think any one team has really sort of dominated the other side. I think both teams have created opportunities, and I think so far 1-1 is the right score going into half time. But I do agree with you that De Zerbi will certainly be the happier of the two managers.
Yes, then so at the break then it's 1-1 and it's still 1-0 to Stoke against Stevenage. Later we've got Wrexham against Sheffield United with Nicholas. Just in the Women's FA Cup, just to take quick some scores here. Arsenal 2-0 up against Leeds inside the opening 17 minutes there with the goals in that game. And then there's some other games taking place. Burnley and Cardiff 0-0 in the Women's FA Cup. Man City now 5-0 up against Sheffield United, and Everton now trailed by a goal to 0 to Birmingham, and Liverpool 2-0 up against Liverpool. Tottenham 5-0 up against London, 1-5-0 against London City Lionesses. Don't beat Crystal Palace 3-0 in the Women's FA Cup. We're going to take a break, and then when we return, we'll be back in plenty of time for this second half. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Commentary Hub. Welcome back to the second half coverage of Brighton and of Albion against Liverpool in the FA Cup fourth round. As Brighton are going to be making a change as Joe Velman will come on for Adam Webster at the break, and we'll just fetch Paul back in now for the second half, ready for the second half. And Paul, what do you with that change there for Brighton? And I had an interview with Roberto De Zerbi was saying Brighton not been have not played as well as he wants them to. What do you reckon that change will mean for Brighton in the second half?
Well, it's it's an interesting one, a defensive change. So he may be either there might be a knock there, but I think it's more likely that it's probably a tactical switch. Webster is the one being replaced at centre back. I mean, Brighton have been caught out a couple of times defensively, so perhaps De Zerbi feels he just needs to shore things up at the back.
Yes, as Brighton just come away down the right hand side as we just get a confirmation of Adam Webster's change for Joe Velman. At the break as is Tarek Lamptey will watch and get ready to take this throw in. He takes this shot, so it goes back to Lamptey. And then Liverpool get the ball back as they try and break. Here's McAllister. When we get a break in play, we'll run you through the sides to tell you about how the two sides line up in the second half as we haven't got a break yet. It's Danny Welbeck since had the penalty area. Danny Welbeck for Brighton can't get the striking on goal as Liverpool just clear up to Cody Gakpo. Now into RV Elliott who tries to get the ball forward for Mo Salah. Liverpool on the back foot to the moment. Here's Matoma, the impressive Matoma. Gets ready for Alexander Arnold and then gets cleared away. The ball's cleared away by Ibrahim Kanate. And you see this brilliant bit of play again. And Matoma has just been impressive today, hasn't he, Paul?
Without a shadow of a doubt, without a shadow of doubt, Ross has been outstanding from start to finish, and he's had the better of uh, Trent Alexander-Arnold all the way through the first half. So I do wonder whether Jurgen Klopp might consider a defensive change soon.
Yes, and we'll have a look who could potentially come on there. Short, only real option potentially that's on the bench we would have to say is James Milner, but he's more of a midfielder than a strat than a defender. So we'll just run you through the teams for his stealing goal for Brighton. Lamptey, now it's Lamptey, Velman, Duncan Estepinian in the back line as the ball comes in towards Matoma at the back, who can't get there. And Liverpool almost getting caught out there. The midfield is Marsh, Gross, McAllister, and Matoma with Ferguson and Welbeck up front. As for Liverpool, no changes for them at the break, so they're still lining with Alisson in goal, Alexander Arnold, Canate, Gomez, and Robertson at the back. He's a midfield three of Thiago, Keita, and Bajcetic, and then it's Salah, Elliott, and Gakpo, the front three for Liverpool. As there's the challenge by Gakpo on Webster. Gakpo just acknowledges that it was a foul with the referee. Potentially could have been a yellow there. And just have a look at this again. This could have easily could have been a yellow card there, which some Brighton fans wanted. Would you say that could have been a yellow there, Paul? Because for me, it could have
Potentially,
been.
yeah, potentially, but again, it's down to interpretation, isn't it? But Gakpo needs to be careful because he's going to be he's going to be in the referee's line of fire now, and you can tell when I look at that challenge again, it looks a little worse the second time around, but definitely potentially could have been a yellow. It was a forwards challenge, but it was late.
Yes, and Gakpo again is just as you were speaking there, Paul. Has took out Alexis McAllister, the World Cup winner for Argentina, and Brighton have got a free kick. Is in a central position with McAllister staying down at the moment. Gakpo probably just getting his final warning there from David Coote, the referee. Neil Swarbrick is on VAR. And Brighton have got a free kick, around about 25, maybe 30 yards out from goal. And They've got a free kick. Is in from the right about left, just left of the D, and a bit in from the edge of the box, bit in from the corner of the box, more central, more nearer towards the right and upright of Allison, rather than middle or left of his goal. Lewis Dunk's there, the goal scorer for Brighton, just watching over this. Also, there's McAllister was there, but it looks like it's going to be Lewis Dunk to strike this one, and we've seen him strike a few free kicks before and score from this distance before from set pieces. Katie's going to be laying down behind the Liverpool wall as the Brighton wall in front of the wall. And Doug goes for goal and he just bounces just wide. And Lewis Dunk almost getting Brighton into the lead there, Paul, with that impressive free kick.
Yeah, that was a good strike. He was a little bit unlucky. Just pulls it wide. It was a good effort, though. And another warning shot fired across Liverpool's bow.
Yes, absolutely, Paul. Absolutely. In that in that one, there is still, I can tell you, in the other FA Cup game, it's still Stoke 1, Stevenage nil. Mike Orneman, you need to shout louder, my friend, if Stevenage ought to get into the game, back into the game and on the score sheet, as Cater is just walking back into position after very gingerly though, as he must have looked as though he may have picked up a little knock. There's going to be, is it a free kick or throwing it to Liverpool? There's going to be a free kick to Liverpool, it seems, to be taken by Canate to Alexander Arnold and back to Gomez. Now Canate, excuse me, as he's down the line into the path of Naby Keita. And Keita's ball is cut out by Gross. Then Estepinian and McAllister get the ball back. Here's Ferguson, holds up the play well into Matoma. Good play that from Ferguson as the ball's here for looking for March by Estepinian. And he can't get into that. Welbeck couldn't either. And now it's Andy Robertson over on that far side. The left is Liverpool attack. Ball in towards Gappo and behind. But that's easily caught in the end by Jason Steele. And Brighton will now look to try and come again themselves. It's end-to-end stuff at the moment. Liverpool, Brighton say, will attack. Liverpool say, will attack. So every time the attack happens, there's Alexander Arnold on the picture then. Not really being impressive in the Premier League so far, getting caught out quite a bit. And he has been quite a bit up against Mitoma here today as well. As the
Yeah, it's
ball's in towards Mitoma there, cut out by Canate. And Alexander Arnold needs to watch his step here as Ferguson is closing him down and almost gets caught out there. And he's giving the ball away this time. Alexander Arnold as Gross gets it back to Steele.
yeah. Alexander Arnold is having it rough today. This Matomo is on fantastic form, and if I was Jurgen Klopp at this point, I would be. He should be identifying this threat now, and perhaps looking to make some changes.
Yes, I'm surprised Liverpool have not made any changes just yet as Estepinian is attacking that space and he feeds into Mitoma again. And Mitoma's just been flagged offside there. And I'm not sure how it could be offside there when the ball is all gone past the last line of the Liverpool defence. Or it is offside, so it's spot on there, the linesman on this occasion. All my hand up in there was wrong there, but I was a bit surprised that the ball didn't get past the last line of defence, and he flagged Mitoma offside there, but looking at the replay, the correct call was made there, Paul.
Yeah, I think so. And well, I look. I look at this and you can see the frustration on his face, but yes, the linesman's correct. He stepped up early, did Matomo.
Yes, as Brighton will try and come up with March on that far side, it's given away. And then Thiago trying to pick out the goal scorer Elliott has put it out for a throw to Brighton. And Brighton's gone away quickly. Is McAllister. Dunk across to Estepinian. He's got Mitoma out wide of him. He should use him. And he does. He heard me. As he's Mitoma now, edge of the box. Take him on. He has done. into the penalty area, struggling. Return push to the cross. Ferguson brings it on his chest. Pascal Gross fires it over. Oh my word, Pascal Gross really should have scored there for Brighton.
What a chance. What a chance. Now, will this come back to haunt Brighton? Because that is a chance. Gross has got to score there. He's got to score, and he didn't put it away, and well, let's see whether that comes back to haunt Brighton.
Yes, you never know, Paul. It could really come back to haunt Brighton here today. As Brighton are causing Liverpool a few problems now in getting in behind on a few occasions. Brighton against Liverpool now, and that Liverpool defence needs some reorganising, needs a different spark in there. Probably needs James Milner to come on and change things. Probably Joel Matip maybe come on at the back to sort out the defensive issues, because so far this back line of Alexander Arnold, Canate, Gomez and Robertson is not working for Liverpool.
No,
But
it's
here's the
not.
aforementioned Robertson coming forward and in towards the penalty area. He's blocked. He keeps the ball in play over on that far side. We'll get your point. Go back to your point in a minute, Paul, as Liverpool are on the counter attack. Here's Navigator. Out wide to Alexander Arnold. What can Alexander Arnold do here? Finds Elliott. Now Cater. Alexander Arnold puts the ball in. Is Salah there? And Gappo puts Salah off. And the chance goes begging for Liverpool. But what a chance for Liverpool to score there, Paul.
Yeah, again, another opportunity goes begging. Both sides have had good chances at the start of the second half. I think it looks like Gapco and Salah just kind of got confused there. Um, I'm just taking a look at this again now, and it's a good build-up by Liverpool. You know, down to Alexander Arnold, Harvey Elliott, and it's when the ball comes in. This is where the confusion seems to take place. They're just getting each other's way there.
Yes, and it looks as though Jurgen Klopp has been listening to us, Paul. He's about to make some changes. Milner is about to come on. I've seen him stripped off and ready. Darwin Núñez is getting some instructions as well. And so too it looks as though, yes, it is Jordan Henderson. So Milner, Núñez and Henderson are about to come on for Liverpool. And they really need to change something here now, to Jurgen Klopp's men, if they are to get anything out of this game. Because Brighton at the moment, they're the ones that are stepping it up and stepping it up to try and get something out of the game. Potentially the win today, or even potentially a replay. But Brighton are going for the win. It looks as though Liverpool are just, from where they're playing at the moment, with the players out on the field, they're settled for a replay, and that's one extra game that Jurgen Klopp will be moaning about that his side
Mm.
doesn't need.
Well, this is true, and I think that's why he's making the changes. He doesn't want to go into a replay. The midfield battle, I would say, has already been won by Liverpool. So to bring on Henderson and Milner will add extra strength to that midfield. Darwin Núñez, of course, we know he's capable in the air, and he might feel that there's an aerial battle to be won there.
Yes, as Liverpool get ready to take the threadways. James Milner coming on, should I say, for Trent Alexander-Arnold. So Milner will go on into the right back place rather than into midfield. We'll see who else is coming off in a minute. So that's Alexander Arnold off for James Milner. Harvey Elliott is another player coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Darwin Núñez, it seems. And his Naby Keita may be the other one coming off, is it?
Well, I'm just looking now, Russ. I don't see. I see Milner and Arnold, Trent Alexander-Arnold coming off. Not surprised to see that one.
And yes, it is Naby Keita. Just got confirmation it's Naby Keita with Jordan Henderson on. So Núñez, Milner, Henderson on for Alexander Arnold, Elliott, and Naby Keita there. So 3 changes for Liverpool.
Jurgen Klopp's rolling the dice, obviously looking to ensure that this game does not go to a replay. But he also has to be very careful now because he doesn't want to lose the game either. But this is a very positive change, I think, by Liverpool.
Yes, absolutely. As here comes Liverpool in possession. Joe Gomez to Thiago. Can the substitutes for Liverpool change it in their favour? Or will Brighton still be the team looking together? And there's the ball from Milner. He's into Salah. Salah can get a strike on goal. He come, chips it in. Gakpo's there. And then Dunk just clears it away to Matoma. But he goes over there to Matoma now for a throw. And Liverpool, with the changes, almost got in to score there. And it was a fantastic ball played in by James Milner.
Yeah, right away you see the effects of the substitution. Just how quick Liverpool, just how quick Liverpool are at breaking out. It's incredible, and they caught Brighton defence out completely there. And well, I think Salah delayed too long. That's my take on that. Salah delayed too long in getting his shot away. And he got it away first time. Jason Steele was at an awkward angle and he was leaning towards one side. I think Salah might have scored if he'd have struck earlier.
Yes, and then Salah went down inside the box. No penalty for Liverpool on that occasion. And now Liverpool have just got the ball with Alisson as Ferguson is putting under pressure. Alisson, and it goes to Gomez as Liverpool try and build out from the back. Liverpool have got 2 changes left to make. Brighton have got 4 changes left to make in the game. And it'd be interesting to see how this game unfolds as is Estepinian who gets the ball back to the Brighton goal scorer Dunk, and Brighton just passed away out of the Liverpool press, and then there's a bad challenge from Canate who goes into the book, and that one there for Canate, Paul. I think you would call it taking one for the team there, really.
Yeah, professional foul, and that has to be a yellow card, no question.
Yes, Ibrahim Canate into the book then, as is Matoma trying to get the ball forward. Joe Gomez is there to clear. Bajecic clears up as well into Gakpo. Cody Gakpo coming forward. And a wonderful run from Cody Gakpo. He's got Nunes out wide to his left. As Lewis Duncan just pulled him down there. And that's the yellow card for the Brighton captain. And that's a silly challenge to make. Because Gakpo's running and he's running into defenders. Because Duncan is there pulling him back. Where's it? When you look at it coming the other way, they've got the defenders there covering. So it's silly that he's put him down there because Velman was there to cut him off. And so that's a silly challenge from Dunk and a silly free kick to give away and a silly yellow card to pick up there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of them ones, isn't it? I think players panic a little bit, and but they need to be aware of their surroundings. And there was extra coverage, as you mentioned, Ross, and just grabbing a hold of the shirt like that, yellow card. Now he's got to be careful for the rest of the game.
Yes, as Milner puts the ball into the penalty area from the free kick, Canate goes down inside the box and no penalty given there as they wanted a penalty Liverpool. And then Bajecic has
Of
just
course they
fouled his
did.
man over at the back post, and which was Lamptey, nudged him in the back and gives away a free kick. And Liverpool and Bajecic not happy with that decision there.
Well, it wasn't a penalty, but of course they wanted the penalty. I mean, this is what I see teams doing now a lot. They make I've got very upset in the past with players going down, diving, going down too easily, slightest contact, down they go, trying to get their fellow professionals sent off and booked. And I'm honestly sick and tired of it. And I book him for that. I book him. I book him for that.
Yes, that's the strong views there from Paul James there, but I've got to say I do agree with him what he's just been saying there. As now here's Lewis Dunk to gives it into the path of Webster, and back he goes to Steele, and then goes to Webster. Webster tidies up well and finds Tarek Lamptey will up towards halfway. Tyler Lamptey over halfway, and he does really, really well. And the ball is given away, and now Brighton will have to come back to defend as Liverpool will come forward. Canate, wonderful ball into Darwin Núñez. Salah's in the centre if you can find him. Robertson's in there too now. Gakpo as well. He comes back to Henderson edge of the box. Comes out to Thiago. Robertson back to Thiago. Robertson in there again. And the shot comes through. And still just claims, and takes an high five from his teammate. And that's a fantastic, good recovering by Brighton to stop the shot from getting in there.
Yeah, they've come under a bit of pressure in the second half of Brighton. I think since the substitutions that Jurgen Klopp has made, Liverpool have looked a bit more urgency in their attack, and you can see here now they're definitely stretching the Brighton defence a little bit. The final, excuse me, I'm so sorry. The final shot, when it does finally come in, is weak and tame, of course, but that was again a good build-up play by Liverpool.
Yes, and here come Liverpool again. It's dunked into the path of Webster. Webster will come forward. McAllister's there. Good ball clear. It won't be 2-0 to Brighton like he was back in 1984 on this day when Liverpool played Brighton in the FA Cup fourth round tie. But can Brighton win the FA Cup fourth round tie on this day in 2023? Here's Milner to Salah, edge of the box, and Liverpool have just lost out there. Matoma just gets the ball away. Ferguson being held there by Canate, and Brighton will make a substitution as Billy Gilmore is a player coming on, and I think Liverpool have just got Brighton have just got a free kick there, should I say. They have is a foul on a Ferguson. They've got it for as Danny Welbeck is being replaced by Billy Gilmore as the former Chelsea man comes onto the field of playing. And Paul with Welbeck today, he's not really been in the game that much, but he's running and has caused Liverpool a bit of problems at the back. Some occasions, would you agree with that, or has he been a bit quieter? Has he been too quiet for you, Danny Welbeck?
Oh well, he's been too quiet, but he's not been given. The chances haven't come his way either. He's running off the ball has been okay, but I think this is probably a smart decision. I think by De Zerbi because he hasn't been at his best today.
Yes, it's can Brighton. They're just slowing things down here, Brighton. It looks as though Brighton may be happy to get a replay against Liverpool and take them back to Anfield and have a fourth match against them in this season as Liverpool just concede possession. But then the referee, after complaints from Gakpo, is given a free kick to Liverpool when initially he waved play on, and that really annoys me, that Paul, where the referee waves play on, players complain, and then he gives the decision 2 or 3 minutes later, 2 or 3 seconds later after the players complained.
Yeah, it shows a lack of control from the referee. If the referee is waved play on, play on. Doesn't matter who complains, just play on. And there was hardly anything in it anyway.
This is Milner to Gakpo, back into James Milner! And that's a fantastic header behind by the Brighton captain Lewis Dunk to defend that brilliantly as Liverpool almost got in with James Milner. 1-2 with Gakpo, and his ball in almost found Mo Salah, but for the fantastic header of Lewis Dunk to knock it behind for a corner.
Yeah,
James Milner will get ready to take this corner now on this near side. Be interested to see how this corner goes. Will Liverpool score from this and come from behind to win this tie? As Milner delivers the ball in. He's headed towards the back post. Salah can't go on end of it. The appeals for offside in there. And now Salah touches it. The offside flag goes up. And it's still 1-1. But Liverpool chance again goes begging there, Paul.
yeah. I mean, it's they really have started to turn the screws since these substitutions. It's worked out really, really well for Jurgen Klopp. But at the moment, I think it's the final ball right now. Leading up to that corner, as you said, the excellent defending by Dunk. It was a great header. but they're just it's a final ball, I think, for Liverpool at the moment.
Yes, as Liverpool go close again with Darwin Núñez this time, who's the Liverpool fans are happy with that, and the Brighton players aren't, as Núñez went in on right to the very end, and the Brighton players weren't happy with how they closed him down very, very quickly and no let him get out of the box as he come from a goal kick, which he was supposed to, and the the referee didn't take out on that, as now he's Estepinian for Brighton inside to Gilmore, and he's back to Estepinian, and now Pascal Gross, who will try and come forward. I wonder what Brighton have gone to in their lock in the final 20 minutes as they try and come forward. Ball's played in behind as there goes the ball in towards the penalty area, but Liverpool have been able to cut it out as now they've got the ball back with Joe Gomez. We'll play this into the path of Andy Robertson, into Gomez, and back into Allison, who clears up towards halfway. And now it's cleared away as Liverpool will try and get back into the game. Interested to see if anything really happens. Here's the ball in, and oh my word, Brighton almost score! And that should be 2-1. 2-1. Matoma did fantastic, and that really should be 2-1 there, Paul.
Yeah, Matoma again. Um, he's been involved in everything almost that Brighton have done, and that was a chance, another opportunity, and Brighton aren't going to get too many chances like that. They have to start taking those chances. There was Pascal Gross that missed one before, and yeah, you've got to score from there.
Yeah, Brighton can have shots. Score for me now. It's cleared away, blocked again. Head out to Gross. Ball back in towards the penalty, towards McAllister's head of the penalty. And Liverpool can now try and play with Salah. Gets it to Núñez. Eventually via Lamptey. And then Lamptey just gets back and wins the ball back. But unfairly, according to the referee. And Salah, for me, Paul James, has just balled this free kick. There was nothing wrong with that. He didn't even touch him. He didn't get a touch of the ball. He didn't touch Salah. And Salah just throws himself to the ground and buys himself a free kick.
Yeah, it's disappointing, isn't it? It's this is another thing as well. Like as I alluded to before, you're going to get booked for that if I was an official. You'll get booked for that, and I don't care if it's your second yellow card. You'll get booked for it.
And then Darwin Núñez is just kicked out there of it, Velman, and then he's just kicked out to Lamptey, and the referee's just wait play on. How is this referee allowing Liverpool and Darwin Núñez to get away with that there?
Well, it's very selective viewing, isn't it? When you look at it, it's they're kicking out, but this is supposed to be what VAR is for. If he's kicking out, and that's potentially a red card. So, why aren't VAR perhaps checking some of that behaviour out? And
No idea.
Darwin Núñez has got a temper.
You have no idea, Paul. I think he's when you look at Liverpool's name, is Liverpool, and some people say it's Liverpool, and say maybe VAR is on Liverpool's side. And with that kick out there from Núñez, maybe people have got a point that VAR maybe on the so-called bigger teams' sides in games such as this one when they've got VAR in them.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of fans say that, and I know it's very tempting to go down the road of conspiracy theories. I don't believe it's that. I just think there's a lot of incompetency in the officials um, at the moment, and almost every level. Like in the Championship, Ross, it's outrageous. Absolutely outrageous is the officiating in the Championship. I can't even begin to imagine what it's like in League One and League Two. We just have a
Paul, you don't
shortage
have
of
to
good
tell me about
officials.
officials in Championship. We was down there for quite a while and we know all about that. And I can tell you, Paul, from being a Leeds fan, and I'll tell you after this attack from Andy Robertson down the far side, in towards the edge of the box, Thiago going towards the penalty and it's cleared away. and now Anderson comes in from challenge from behind and concedes a throw in. Came in behind on Ferguson there. Paul, you don't need to tell me about officiating in the Football League. League One, we had worst officials in there, and we had even worse officials in the Championship. They just wanted to keep Leeds down there because when Leeds were down there, they were making money and giving people more revenue to the clubs in the Football League. And so the Football League will do everything in the power to keep the teams in there that are bringing most revenue to the smaller clubs in the Football League pyramid. And that was the likes of Leeds when Leeds was down there. That'll be the likes of Burnley. That's why things like that with Burnley, they won't be happy should Burnley get promoted to the Premier League at the first time of asking. But it's interesting. You mentioned about officials in the Championship. Let's go back to the game here and now. As is Salah, and now into the path of Vajcetic, across to Darwin Nunes, and then out wide from Gakpo and into the box from Robertson. It's claimed there by Steele, and that's gone behind, and that's comfortably saved by Steele in the end there. And and when you mentioned why don't VAR get involved there, Paul, Luke Luke responded to you and went because it's Liverpool, and I think he's got a point. Those so-called big teams get protected by VAR and the officials in the games they play, like I mentioned earlier.
But I mean, the problem with that conspiracy theory is that when the big teams play each other, who gets the favouritism then? Is it the one that's higher up in the league at the time or no?
Yeah,
It's not.
I think he's more of so whoever's higher up in the league at the time. Because like in the game against between Chelsea and Liverpool a few weeks ago when it finished 0-0, Che- and it was and no, that is also where whichever ground it's at. So like that Chelsea Liverpool game which finished 0-0 at Anfield a few weeks ago, it was Liverpool who got majority of the decisions in that game there as well. And if it's Man City Arsenal, it's probably going to be depending on where the ground is being played. It'll probably be Arsenal in a few weeks in the Premier League, and like on some occasion on Friday, it was Man City because of it was at the Etihad as the ball's come forward towards McAllister as he tries to get on the end of that against Allison. There, in fact, it was March, but that was good cover and good running there from Allison to spot the danger and clear it towards Estepinian, who get ready to tear the throw in. He's looking for options as he's taking it quickly to Gilmore, back from to Estepinian, and now back he goes into the path of Dunk as Liverpool and Brighton still locked at 1-1 coming up towards the final 10 minutes of the game. And as we come up towards that final 10 minutes, Paul, a lot of people will be thinking that he's going to be, it looks like he might be heading for a draw. But the question I want to ask you, Paul, is do you see a winner in this game today? And if so, which way do you think he'll come? He'll come.
Well, there is potentially a winner in the game. Both teams have created chances. Wouldn't like to predict where it's going to go though. Both teams have had good opportunities to win the game. Brighton coming close before. Great ball across by Matomo, but it wasn't able to put it. He was a little bit unlucky actually because it bounced back off Allison and hit him on the chest and then went wide. So he was a little bit unlucky. But I have to say, there's potentially a winner in here, Ross, but I just wouldn't want to predict who it's going to.
Yes, because knowing you, Paul, you'll say he'll go to, for example, Liverpool, and it'll be Brighton who'll get it, because normally your predictions are wrong. And I didn't ask for your prediction at the start of the game, and that was because of that reason, Paul, because I know normally you get some predictions wrong when you predict
Well, I
games,
don't
and that's
like to
why.
predict, to be honest. It's not something I like to do, but in a co-commentator's position, you tend to get pressed for it, don't you?
You normally do, yes. As Curtis Jones is getting ready to come on for Liverpool, and he's going to be replacing Thiago. And Thiago's been, I would say, pretty anonymous in that midfield for Liverpool today. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why he's being replaced by Curtis Jones there, Paul.
Yeah, sort of being invisible a little bit, really. But on the whole, I think he's just trying to keep the midfield fresh as well. Is Jurgen Klopp, knowing that a replay is now possible at this stage? You're looking at 12 minutes left. You're thinking replay, aren't you? Really?
You are, yes. And And I'm wondering if he's also thinking with some of the substitutions that he's made, Jurgen Klopp's probably looking at the next Liverpool game coming up, which will be in the league. As we just watch this attack from Estepinian on this left-hand side for Brighton. Back it goes to Lewis Dunk as he will try and come forward. Be interested to see if they do come forward here. And now Solly March has got possession. Interested to see if Liverpool can stay. Comes out to Evan Ferguson. Shot blocked and behind for a corner. And Brighton continue to knock on that door and gain something from the game.
Yeah, a good effort that. Chance, half chance, I might put that down as really. But it was again Brighton are pressing for a winner, which is good to see.
Yes, you don't very often see the home side pressing for a winner in the game in a game like this. As we just watch this corner to be taken by Ferguson. Can he get the ball into the penalty area? Ferguson's in there, flicks on, dunks there, and he heads into the arms of Allison, who clears it long out of his arms, just gets Salah away. And there's Salah, but he's up against Lamptey. Lamptey's quick, and Salah's just pushed him over. But Brighton have got the ball, so the referee will play on, and then Brighton win a free kick out there. Foul on Solly March by Cody Gakpo.
Yeah, good football all round. Again, this is just a good example here of how quick Liverpool are on the break. It's a good.
Brighton are in now, Paul, and McAllister's been pushed over there by Canate, and the referee is not giving anything. He looked as though there was a foul there by Canate and McAllister. But now Liverpool on the attack down the far end. Here's John Dennison, ball in, he's cut out by Lewis Dunk out for a throw, but McAllister stayed down, and that looked like a foul there to me. Arm in the back, knee in the back, goes down, he's going through on goal. How is that not a free kick? It's beyond me, and Liverpool have got away with one there, Paul.
Yeah, actually, that should be. He was in behind behind the defender there as well, so that would have potentially been a red card. I think the referee has made a bad decision there.
Yes, and I'm just looking at it again, and that's a definite foul by Canate. He's onside, he's gone through, he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper if he gets away from Canate. Canate just elbowed him in the back and nudged him over, nowhere near the ball, and allowed the ball to run through into the path of Allison. And that, for somehow, David Coote has seen that as as a fair and legal challenge. And we wonder why we criticise referees quite a lot. I think you've just found the answer out there, Paul.
Yeah, oh yeah, he shoves him in the back of his neck. You just see it from that angle. Canate here, but you see, look, it's not just the referee. I don't blame the referee here. Look at the linesman's position. He's right up there with play. The referee's fairly far back. The linesman is right up there and level with play. The linesman should be flagging that. That is, and you can see he's probably done himself a bit of an injury in his neck there, because that's where the elbow or the arm, if you will, took place. But I don't blame the referee so much as that. The referee wasn't up with play. I blame the linesman for that. The linesman had a very good view of that. And
And I'm just listening to. I've got the pictures on from the TV, and I'm just hearing from some commentators as well from the TV coverage, and saying VAR couldn't get involved in that situation because he was outside the area. But for me, if it's anything like that, whether it's inside or outside the area, for me, Paul, I think VAR should be able to get any decisions like that, which is clearly gone the opposite ways. By Jecic is coming off now to be replaced by Fabinho Tavares as Liverpool make another change to their team.
well,
And it's very interesting how that free kick was not given there. And it'd be very interesting, Paul, to see if something similar might have happened, say, to Darwin Núñez, to Mo Salah, if the referee would have given it.
I just don't buy into the conspiracy theories. I buy into the fact that the referees are totally incompetent. The referee wasn't up with play there. He was almost back on the halfway line. He was just crossing the halfway line. The linesman was, the assistant was. The assistant was level with play. So at that point, the assistant should see that. And at that point should be raising his flag. It was a blatant foul. There's no question about that. And I think that when you're looking at a situation like that, VAR should be able to get involved because it's a potential red card.
Yes, absolutely. And Paul is just, and Lucas said, they're just people holding flags. That's all they're good for. About a linesman, about the assistant referee, should I say, rather than linesman. I can't call them linesmen now, as there's females in there. And Fabinho just on has made a bad challenge on Evan Ferguson, and he could go into the referee's notebook here for the very bad challenge there. And he says, and Paul Lucas said he totally blames the referee for that. Says this he's looking at. Then when VAR can get involved, it's a joke. And Lucas also said no excuse about the referee. He should be up with play.
Well, that's true. But if he's not up with play, that's what the
And
okay,
that
I'll
could have
call
been a
them
red.
assistant.
Oh my
Yeah,
word, that could have been a red for Fabinho. You just got
yeah.
booked for that. Well, you just see the challenge there. Studs rated to the back of Evan Ferguson's ankle.
Well, let's take a look at this again because I kind of just missed that, I think. But just going back to what Luke was saying, yes, okay, the referee certainly should be up with play in an ideal world, but we don't live in an ideal world. The responsible, yes, you're right, that could be a red. They're responsible for the assistants as well to provide support to the referee. And the assistant should have raised his flag at that point, and that was studs in the back of the ankle. And Fabinho, in my opinion, could that's very debatable on whether that could be a red card.
I think with this one, Paul, I think VAR are checking if that's going to be a red card or not. So we'll just have to wait and see. I think a VAR check is ongoing for potential red against Fabinho, who's just come on, and that would be a big blow to Jurgen Klopp if that is going to be, if that is the case. We're just waiting to see. I think VAR is still potentially checking it while he's still receiving some
He
treatment
knows it
there,
too.
Evan Ferguson, and he
He,
knows VAR are checking this. Does Fabinho?
well, he knew when he made the tackle that it was a bad tackle. If you look at his face, I looked at an angle on the replay there, Ross. It looked to me like he knew right away that, oh my gosh, I might be in trouble for this one.
Yes, and the referee is still checking. I think he's still waiting to get confirmation from VAR here. Fabinho's still looking as if he thinks he could. And I've just been hearing, Paul, that VAR check is over. The yellow card will stand.
Well, I still refuse to buy into the conspiracy theories, but you know what? I can certainly understand why they're there because that was a very unpleasant tackle, and I think a lot of referees, if they'd have got a good look at that, might have pulled out a red card for that. Maybe because he's
Yes,
just come on, they're giving him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know.
yes, and Evan Ferguson has just had to be substituted there, and he's been replaced by Dennis Undav, who's now just come on, the player who wears number 21, and he's having to be helped around the field of play, and it looks like he can't put hardly any weight on that foot after that challenge. So when you see that, and when you see him there, the VAR have got that one wrong, and that should have been him sent to the monitor and given a red card for Fabinho for that bad challenge there. And the theory that people keep saying, Liverpool, I think he's right up there now, Paul.
Well, I can certainly understand why people feel that way because that, to me, was a red card. It's it was studs up in the back of the ankle. Most referees who would have seen that or got a good view of that would have pulled out the red card. And this is the problem, though, isn't it, with VAR? It's always down to interpretation, and this is why VAR doesn't work. And it took me a long time to get to this stage, but it was at the World Cup I got to this stage where I said, "That's it. It's time for VAR to go."
Yes, and Luke is not happy as well with that challenge there. Says, well, they're speechless. That's a joke. Absolute joke. So we can now lunge in, studs up into the ankle and just get a yellow. VAR is a joke. What is the point? And we're going to get ready to give our player of the match in a second as we go ready to get our player, and we'll get Paul's thoughts on player of the match in just a second for you guys as we just see the tap from Brighton down the far side, and there's a bad challenge again from Andy Robertson, and this time it's on McAllister, and that's the yellow card there, and that surely, I need to see a replay, I'm just looking at this replay again, lunges in, stamps on him with his studs, lunges in over the top of the ball, stamps on him, and that could be a red card as well for Andy Robertson, which is just a yellow card for the Liverpool defender.
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at it now. Oh my goodness me! Oh boy. Okay. Oh, I am absolutely speechless with that. Totally speechless with that. Because look at this. Oh, okay. No, that he has to go. Look at this. Look at that, right down the front of his ankle. That is. How has he
And
gotten away with that?
we've got 5 minutes of stoppage time. We played 1 minute of that. Brighton have got a free kick. It was a challenge on Solly March rather than McAllister as initially first thought. Pascal goes with the free kick. Round the back is Bevis Estepinian. Estepinian delivers it back in towards the post. It's Matoma. Matoma! And Brighton have scored! The winning goal it could be to knock Liverpool out of the FA Cup in the fourth round stage. Brighton of Albion 2, Liverpool 1, and Liverpool are behind in the second minute of 5 added on. And the Amex, Brighton 2, Liverpool 1.
Well, 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 anybody that doesn't believe in karma, perhaps now is the time to start believing. And a player that, in my opinion, oh, what a finish. A player, in my opinion, that thoroughly deserves a goal. Mitoma, who's been outstanding from start to finish, just terrorised Liverpool at the back. And what a fantastic strike for him. And Liverpool, as it stands, are on their way out of the FA Cup. And well, 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 what a strike.
Fantastic goal from Karo Matoma, who'll finish it off absolutely fantastically well. One touch to fetch it down, one touch to lift it up, the third touch to fire it into the back of the net. And I'm just being told, Paul, VAR are checking this for a potential offside.
Oh, my goodness. It doesn't look offside to me.
No offside to me either. We'll wait to see this. If this is offside, we'll just wait to get confirmation. I'm wondering where the offside is going to be.
They did this
In a,
against Wolves, didn't they?
yes, I'm just seeing it now. Put on my monitor. He's onside. Pepe Estepinian is onside and played on by Canate. The goal stands and Brighton lead by 2-1 against Liverpool.
Good, good. We got some justice at last. I
Yes.
tried to stay as neutral as possible, but Liverpool should be down to 9 men at this stage. And I am, as far as I'm concerned, this is a nice little bit of karma coming up here. And he's well onside, isn't he? Not just onside, he's well onside.
Yes, and Liverpool are now in with Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez out of the box. Still going Darwin Núñez, and he hits it, and he goes behind for a goal kick to Brighton. And Brighton are now just a minute away from knocking Liverpool out of the FA Cup. for the fourth round on this day. They did it on this day in 1984, won by 2 goals to 0. Can they do it on this day in 2023 by 2 goals to 1? And
I
Paul, with
should.
all that excitement, Paul, I'm yet to ask you. So we'll do it as the ball is played out and Liverpool have a throw in. Paul James, let me have a breather, and you can tell us the player of the match,
Well,
sponsored by Commentary Services here on the commentary of
it
this
should come
afternoon.
as no surprise to you. No surprise at all that Mitoma is my player of the match. He's terrorised Liverpool from start to finish. And if anybody deserves a game-winning goal today, it's him. He is my player of the match, sponsored by Commentary Services. I'll just let you catch your breath, Ross. He's been
And
brilliant.
Mitoma has fully deserved the player of the match today. So congratulations to him. He'd be my choice. The the TV people gave it to the first goal scorer for Brighton in Lewis Dunk, but our player of the match has gone to the winner in Karu Mitoma, who looks to have won it for Brighton. Brighton making a substitution. It's Tarek Lamptey who's coming off, and he's going to be replaced by Jan Paul van Eck. He's a centre back by trade, coming on to play right back. And now, for the last few minutes, as Brighton just look to defend this lead, as Liverpool have a long throw which will be taken here by Joe Gomez into the was Curtis Jones. The referee needs to look at his watch. We played over a minute of added on time. They're probably going to play a bit extra because of the VAR decision. Milner delivers a ball in towards the penalty area. Look for Mo Salah on this near side. The ball goes out of play, and it's a goal kick to Brighton. And that should be that, Paul James. And what a game we've had. Brighton and Hove Albion. I won't call it a shock with the way Liverpool have played this season, but Brighton and Hove Albion may have just won Liverpool by 2 goals to 1 and knocked them out of this stage for the second time in quite a long time. 1984 was the last time on 29th of January 1984, and on this day, Brighton beat Liverpool 2-0 in the FA Cup fourth round. Could this be on this day history repeating itself, like I said at the start, as Steele gets ready to clear downfield? The referee who's looked to the watch, still playing on, headed forward, and there goes a full-time whistle! And Brighton Hove Albion have knocked out Liverpool in the FA Cup fourth round. A last-minute goal from Karol Mitoma, our player of the match, with the winning goal for Brighton Hove Albion. It came after Albion Liverpool went to the lead. It was then an equaliser from Lewis Dunk just before half-time. And then in stoppage time at the end of the game, player of the match, Karol Mitoma, fired on for Brighton, the winner. And well, I'll just get my breath, but before we wrap up with some scores, Paul James, wow, 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 what a game we have seen today.
Oh, well, I'd say Liverpool are just about sick of the sight of Brighton this season. It's been a fantastic game of football, with both sides having chances to win the match. Liverpool looked like they were taking control of the game when Klopp had made the substitutions, but Brighton have been creating one or two chances themselves, and Mitoma, what a performance by him. That has lifted Brighton above Liverpool, and Liverpool are out. The holders are out, and Brighton are through to the fifth round. And I don't know what Liverpool are going to win this season, if anything at all.
Wow, wow, wow. Liverpool, the holders of the FA Cup, dumped out at the fourth round stage this season by Brighton and Hove Albion. They've took 4 points off them in the league, and they've dumped him out of the FA Cup. And Luke Turtis says, karma is served. Cheer up Jurgen Klopp. And cheer up Jurgen Klopp indeed. He will not be happy today. So let's run you through some of the other scores. The latest score in the game between Stoke City and Stevenage, where Mike Ornament, our friend and colleague, is at. Stoke 1, Stevenage 0. Wrexham v Sheffield United is at 4:30, with Nicholas Jones guiding you through the action in that one. In the Women's FA Cup, some results to tell you about. Durham 3, Crystal Palace nil. Tottenham 5, London City Lionesses nil. Liverpool have been dumped out of the Women's FA Cup as well, Paul. They have lost by 3 goals to 2 to Chelsea. Everton nil, Birmingham 1. Man City 7, Sheffield United nil. Sunderland 1, Manchester United 2. It's currently Arsenal 4, Leeds nil. It's currently Burnley nil, Cardiff 4. Coventry United 3, hashtag nil. Ipswich nil, Lewes nil. West Brom nil, Brighton of Albion women 6 in the Women's FA Cup. Wolves nil, West Ham nil. 23 minutes gone is Bristol City nil, Oxford nil. 27 minutes gone is Wimbledon nil, Charlton 2. And at 4 o'clock is Leicester against Reading and Aston Villa against Fylde in the Women's FA Cup today. So, what, boy oh boy, did we just see one of the best games in football in the FA Cup. A last minute winner, and Karma served up on a plate as Liverpool bow out of the FA Cup. Paul, looking at the FA Cup with teams that have gone out already in the Premier League this round, Arsenal and Liverpool now. It could be anyone's FA Cup this season. It could be a new name on the list, on the shoulder. And then, based on the performance that you've seen today from Brighton, could they go all the way in the competition this season?
Well, you never know. They're a good team. I think people they look at Brighton and they say, well, you know, they're surprised where they are. They're surprised when they get these results over teams like Liverpool. But you know what? They're a very, very good team. They're a very well organised team, and they were built upon um, I've forgotten his name now. Um, my mind. He's currently at Chelsea now. Anyway, you know what I mean, don't you?
Graham Potter.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, they were built upon by Graham Potter, and now that the De Zerba is continually building on that team, and they're very good. They're well worth the position that they're at in the league. So yes, they could very well go deep into the competition.
Yes, so that's all we've got time for here on the commentary of this afternoon. Don't forget, come back 4:15 for the 4:30 kick-off between Wrexham and Sheffield United, and join Nicholas Jones. But for myself, Russ Vernon, and Paul James, very big thank you for listening. We'll see you again real soon. Take care and goodbye for now.